So I know, Joe, you talk about shattering assumptions and implicit in some of those things that you've described around the 5 capabilities, there would be some significant assumption shatterers. So talk to me about those.
Well, it's interesting because when we were thinking about how do we really help people understand what their beliefs are, we had to sort of think about what would challenge people's ideals and thinking to really get them to start to talk and really understand what they truly believe. So we decided that we would call them assumption shatterers, and we started off with 3, but now we've got up to 5. And I think what's interesting is that these are the questions that we ask or statements that we make that make people stop and think. Do they believe us? Do they not believe us? Where do they sit on that continuum? So we start off with, like, for me, the first assumption shatter is there's no such thing as student failure, it's system failure. If kids are failing the system, then we've got to do something differently. The second one is that equal treatment leads to inequitable outcomes. And that one I often get quite a lot of pushback on. But basically, the example I use is that if I gave everybody my glasses, it would be really challenging for most people to read out of them. But if we wanted to treat everybody the same and give equal opportunity, they should all have the same glasses as me, or whoever, so we get that standardization. So what we're doing here is we're saying that each one of us is individual, so we need different things. So you have to give different things to me, than to Max, than to anybody else we have in our world. The third assumption shatterer that I have is that we've got the only morally defensible target we can have is 100%. I talk about at the moment that the average rate of success across the US is anywhere between sort of 50 to 70%, and then some schools can go further than that. What we're saying here is that we have to have the belief that every child can be successful, and we have to act as though they are going to be successful, because if we don't believe it, the children won't believe it either. So that's a really important one to sort of really get into people's heads. The next, or the fourth one, is that parents are experts on their children, and we have to include their expertise when we're doing the work. I've talked a lot about parents in this, in some of the sessions that we have, because I believe they're really critical to be partners with us. The fifth one, if we focus on a few students, then we've got a chance to shift everybody. I think traditionally we've focused a lot on the bubble students and tried just to get them over the line. What I say is if we can go to the students who have been least served, the ones who have had the least success in the system, and we can change their lives, change the outcomes for them, then everybody can see it's possible. I think what we find is that people don't believe it's possible to help some students, so we really shatter that assumption by saying we believe every single person can be successful.